being out here in spring ball, what's the depth of competition been like a couple weeks out here?
It's definitely been very competitive. We got a new corners coach, Coach Smith. I think it's been a great addition to the team, and even in the safety room, it's very deep. I feel like the biggest thing for us is we have a lot of good, healthy young guys and older guys. So it's really good for competition because we're all pushing each other and we all want to be the best. And I feel like the biggest thing is we kind of have a little bit of everything. Like we got some long guys, we got some stronger guys, we got some faster guys, we got guys with good feet. But I think it's really good, and then it's very important because we're all grabbing pieces from everybody's game. So that's one good thing.
A guy like Coach Smith with that Power 5 ACC background, what has he kind of brought to the room here at Northwestern?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just being a corners coach, he just helped us with a lot of technique things, big feet things, like just being able to step with plays, move our feet, shuffle, stand square, a lot of pedal drills, stuff, that you would recommend a DB coach doing. But the biggest thing is him understanding and teaching us ways to, eliminate certain routes and concepts based on the alignments and just, cheating the game.
Definitely some frustrating moments last year. What's the best part of being able to kind of wipe the slate clean here in the spring?
It's a new year. Can't nobody judge you. That's another opportunity to get to play football. That's the biggest thing. Any day we get to play football is a great day. And I know nobody wants to – we all want to get that bad taste out of our mouth. But especially be able to play with my brothers again is really important. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, and with the struggles last year, now kind of a younger group of last year.
Yes, sir.
What have you kind of seen this year that's sort of changed in spring ball early?
Younger guys stepping up. That's the biggest thing. Younger guys invested. Younger guys wanting to be great. And younger guys wanting to compete. That's the biggest thing because, we say this every year, but we're going to need everybody to win, especially at corner because, things happen. You hate to say it, but some people get injured and you got to have people ready to step up. And that's the biggest thing that we're prepared for. So, yes, sir.
And then Jeremiah Lewis coming from Duke to Northwestern.
Yeah.
In the early days, have you noticed anything about his demeanor and just bringing in that grad transfer experience?
Yeah, no, him being an old head, he knows the game. It's definitely good for him to for us getting a different perspective because, he's been coached by another guy. But that's been really important for seeing what he's learned and what he knows and then implementing it over here. And then also, it's just good having older guys on the team that want to help younger guys. And it's just very important because, we all want to be great. So we're all leaning on each other.
And how do you feel like you and the rest of the players are kind of helping those younger players kind of come into their own a little bit, as you can say?
Starting off, it's just being social, reaching out to younger guys, letting them know that you're there. You're going to make mistakes. That's what practice is for. So not getting discouraged and also just watching film with them. And if they have questions, don't try to demean their questions down. But the biggest thing is just being there for them. It's an interesting time, especially for the younger guys that just got here because they don't really know much going on. But, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Back on.
No, you're not used to seeing what
No, I just got into the habit.
And then also a lot of turnover with receivers. And so in the early days matching up against the receivers, have you been impressed by anyone in particular or anything in particular?
I'm going to be honest. I don't really like speaking good on our wide receivers when we're on the field, but I love all our wide receivers. One guy that I really love, I'm going to be honest, BK, 17. That boy got some wheels. Also, Ray. We got a lot of younger talent. It's really good if you guys haven't already seen them. Malik Washington, Jacob Gill. So it's going to be real interesting for them just really, get the ball going because, they're younger and stuff. But especially getting into the swing of things, they look good. But don't tell them I said this because it's only off the field.
Anything else for AJ? AJ, some position groups have a song, a motto, a saying. I was here when you guys were the Sky Team. Is there anything for the corners room this year that you guys have kind of been sticking with?
It's kind of funny because Coach Smith asked us when we came in what we would be called. Was called the Sky Team. And I think it's kind of a little joke right now. I don't know if we want to officially call ourselves this, but whenever we break it down, we like to call ourselves the Scrappers. It's just a funny thing, but strap, seatbelt, so that's kind of where we got that from. But it's just something funny, get the energy going in the morning. But, it's still the true Sky Team to fly us out. So,
Thanks, AJ.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm doing well.
1,000-yard season last year, first since Justin Jackson. So how are you looking to build on that?
The first thing is just never being satisfied and looking back at the film that there's so many more things I can do better. And so just coming into spring ball, really focusing on those weaknesses wherever I can find them and just kind of continue to learn and grow, continue to build on my game.
And obviously, potentially coming back, how are you looking to kind of work with him in your way?
I'm excited. I'm excited, first of all, because, when it comes to winning the championship and going to places we want to go, we're going to need everybody. And so that's the biggest thing coming into it. all hands on deck. You know what I mean? And so the more the better, as far as getting everybody in there. And he's got his things to add to our running back room and to our offense. So I'm excited to get him back and get that 1-2 punch, 1-2-3 punch, 1-2-3-4 punch. You know what I mean with Trey and Drew.
And what are your kind of hopes in general for the offense this year? Obviously, a little bit of a drop-off last week.
For sure.
And we're talking a lot about the younger players. So how are you looking to kind of boost that offense this year?
Definitely. I think going off of what he said for sure was just younger guys stepping up. And that's something I've really seen a lot of this offseason in this spring ball is younger guys kind of stepping up as leaders vocally, but also stepping up in their game. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to need everybody. And so that's going to be a huge thing coming forward. And just this consistency on offense. That's one thing we struggle with for sure, and just making explosive plays. And so to see, younger guys come out and make explosive plays on offense here in practice, that's huge. That's huge, and I love to see that. And we're going to continue to do that and continue to, build off the energy of those guys making explosive plays, and other guys come in and make plays. So, we're just going to keep building.
Evan, what's kind of the mentality of the running back room been like in the spring so far?
The way that Coach Lou likes to call it is we're the catalysts. And what he means by that is we have a way of bringing the energy to the team. And, we have a lot of playmakers in the running back room. And so he kind of puts it on us to keep that energy going on offense and really setting the standard as far as the physicality. And so we take a lot of pride in our physicality and just the way we run the ball, the way just our mentality is running the ball and that stuff.
You guys have brought some new transfers in the fold this spring. Have any of those new additions particularly stood out to you?
I think they've all stood out in their own unique ways, for sure, especially on defense. But, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is just guys' work ethics, and that's what I like to see. Like guys like Jeremiah Lewis, he's got a great work ethic. I see him, in the weight room getting extras in as far as mobility and stuff like that. And, Wendell's another guy that gets a lot of extra reps in. And so I like to see that for sure, because that's huge for our culture to have guys that have that work ethic, have that mentality to just get better every single day.
Being one of the older guys on the offensive side, how have you helped some of those younger guys adapt to the Northwestern culture and kind of that?
For sure. First thing I say is leading by example. But another thing, part of that is just building relationships with the guys. I think that's huge. Being an older guy, you kind of have to initiate that relationship with the younger guys, because they're not always going to just come up to you and ask for advice and things like that. You got to kind of be an open book for them. So that would be the biggest thing I'd say, is just being an open book for the younger guys and kind of being that older brother almost in that fold. And not just helping with football stuff, whether it's school or relationships, being somebody that you can talk to and you can confide in. I think that's huge, because then that's just going to build the chemistry off the field, and that's going to help us play on the field too.
Thanks, Evan.
All right. Thank you so much.
As a starter coming up this year, obviously looking to build on the progress in the past 2 years, how are you stepping into more of a leadership role?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of just trying to bring other guys along. I'm kind of established myself as a veteran, having played a lot of games here so far. So bringing on those young guys and trying to show them, what it takes to play in the Big Ten and do a good job. So just trying to lift up any of these young guys and these incoming starters as much as I can going into this next season.
And having practiced for a little bit now with kind of some younger guys and newer guys, how are you feeling about the line this season?
I feel good. I think we've, Coach Anderson always talks about us being a nasty group. That's always what you want out of an offensive line. I think we've really kind of come on to that mentality. Seen a lot of good things from guys like Conrad Rowley and Caleb Tiernan, and a good, really young group of guys that have been giving back. And I feel good about our experience and our depth. That's the biggest thing I think I like going into this season.
And speaking of the depth, you mentioned a couple names. Who are some other guys in line that we should specifically look out for?
Conrad, Caleb, non-starters, obviously got Josh and Charlie and Ethan. Dom D'Antonio, Josh Thompson, two guys that impressed too.
Pete, how have you kind of raised your own personal expectations coming into year 3?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of I like to look back and watch last season and see the little details and technique issues that I can fix, and that's just kind of what I set my sights on going into spring ball. And every practice, I kind of think about something I want to address particularly and try to work on that. So just if I can refine those little details, I think that's how I can take the next step as a player.
You know, Coach Anderson's received a lot of accolades lately for his recruiting. What do you think it is about him that helps him connect with high schoolers and be a real dynamic leader?
Yeah, well, he's an O lineman. He embodies that persona, and I think that resonates with a lot of offensive linemen. I know it did with me when he recruited me. And guys want to be coached by a true offensive lineman who knows what it means to play in the trenches like that. He just has a really great ability to relate with guys and to be one of us. He's not just like this domineering presence that everyone is fearful of, you know. So he really does his job of like being in our shoes and relating to us.
You know, in spring ball, what are kind of the habits you're focused on now that are going to pay off down the road here in August?
Yeah, I think, you know, outside of technique things, but focusing on just finishing and being physical. You know, you can't really do that, train that in a workout or without pads on stuff like that. So you have to take these practices and train those physicality, those effort habits that Coach Jake talks about with us a lot in practice, and that'll show up on the field in the fall. But these are the only opportunities you get to really work on those types of things.
You've got some defensive linemen that are very competitive.
Yeah.
How has that helped improve the offensive line over the course of the spring ball?
It's been huge. You know, just to shout out one guy, Tommy Waugh's been excellent. He's been giving us all a really great look. He's going to be one of the best defensive players in the Big Ten this year. So him and really the whole line in general, the whole defensive line in general has, you know, changed things up and given us new looks where we feel really challenged technique-wise, schematically-wise. So I think it's been great. They've done a really good job of that, and impressed with that group going forward.
Sweet. Thanks.
Good?
We're good.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.